Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
There's my virtual background.
There you are.
And I need to
Best set ever.
I need to get rid of this, and then I'm going to put up some slides of the Redeemer that we're going to be talking a little bit about.
I still tell people about that set. I talk about that set all the time.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a pain in the ass.
Yes, but I think it was worth all the effort.
Well, and I don't disagree with you, other than the fact that you have no idea the effort. After it was all said and done,
I'm sure getting rid of it again,
I had lost. I mean, Justin had to go back. Justin Chapman, who was our TD that year, so I actually had to remove the 2 cubic yards of dirt myself, wheelbarrow by wheelbarrow, off the stage and outside. So that was fun. But
I bled on that set.
Oh, I know you did. Yeah.
Feel my hand on that set.
And but if people aren't familiar with it, it was the Redeemer, this wonderful drama, and I got the bright idea that because it takes place in the garden there, and I thought, what would be cool? We should have dirt and live plants.
We grew tomatoes.
Yeah, we grew tomatoes. Remember, we had an eggplant that was blooming.
Yep. Yeah, the eggplant was starting, but there's at least I have a photo of at least 5 tomatoes.
Oh yeah,
like that.
Yeah, and
I talk about that set all the time.
the worst part of it was after every performance, we would have to set up the grow lights and water the plants, and then of course at the very end of the show, your character destroys the damn garden. So we had like standby plants in case you got overzealous at some point.
But I didn't kill too many. I tried to maintain.
You didn't do too bad, but we were running low on some things. But but it was a lot of fun. And just to remind people, the reason that we're here doing this is because this is our version of Giving Tuesday. That's a month early because we'll be in tech during the real Giving Tuesday, and I'm going to copyright the title Streamathon.
I love that. I love that.
It's a Giving Tuesday Streamathon, and if you're interested in giving to Ensemble Stage, go to that page that's listed right there, ensemblestage.ludus.com/donate. And make your donation, and that little ticker down at the bottom is some people who have donated so far in our Giving Tuesday. So and don't be intimidated by there's some of these that show like 500, 100, things like that. If you got $5 and you want to give, please give $5.
If enough people give $5, it goes a really, really long way.
Exactly. Thank you very much. I try to explain that to people, but
I know, but I mean, the good thing about the little tickers is that you see that other people are contributing because nobody wants to be the first.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very weird thing. I've done several fundraisers, and as you know, for my company, and so it's tricky. Once it gets going, then people are usually okay. But those little $5 and $10 contributions, they're huge because it may seem like nothing as one, but you get 30 of those.
Right.
You're making some major traction. So it's hugely important. Every little bit helps. Yeah. And even if you can't necessarily do it yourself, if you can share the link, to get it to your audiences, because sure, you could pay to advertise it, but then that's money coming out of what you're trying to bring in, and it's a little counterproductive at that point. But and I do apologize about my voice. I'm full on have the flu.
Do you have a temperature?
So I'm guessing this is the light version of it.
Do you have a temperature at all or anything? Or
a little bit. I'm mostly cold sweating, which is
Oh yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, and yesterday was my first full day off in 5 weeks. So of course my body's like, "Oh, we have time. Let's do this."
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Now we have time to get sick.
now
There
we
we
have
go.
time to get sick. I really don't. I was trying to prevent it just by taking a day off in the midst of a bunch of insanity, but it's fine.
There's a great picture right there. I love that picture.
Freaking man, that set.
Yeah, it was cool. Mike Helms, who's our set designer, did an amazing job with that. I remember
That
when
role is so tricky because, of all the times that I'm not seeing what's in front of me.
right, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
having that be so hyper realistic.
yeah, and that was part of the reason I thought I wanted to make as. I mean, I always try to make any set or any show that we're doing feel real to the actors and things
Yeah.
like that. That's why a lot of times my sound designs, sometimes the audience won't hear it, but the actors will hear. The subtle crickets in the background or that kind of stuff that happened at the nighttime or creek babbling or what have you. But
Yeah.
it keeps the actors in that moment and in that space and in that world. But it was such, man. I got to tell you, it was up there. He is getting ready to blow your head off, or did he? Or did
Or
he?
we don't know.
That's right.
That was funny. I don't know. No, I think you knew. I did Night Mother immediately before this one.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm like,
remember.
could
Yeah,
I end a show that doesn't involve me being on the floor in tears and a gunshot? Like that'd be great. I
yeah,
need a rubber chicken and some
yeah.
whipped
There
cream.
you go.
Yeah, I'm due for a good comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like this was one of the last shows that I did before the pandemic hit, and
Hmm.
I because the one I did after this was such a bad experience, I just tell people this is the last one I got to do, because emotionally this was. I mean, this I've done a lot of show. I mean, I've done like almost
Oh
170
God,
now,
yeah, I know. Yeah,
and this is top two. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
Well, I
and
appreciate
the
that.
only reason it's not number one is because of all the crying. Like it was just so emotionally like taxing for me.
Yep, yep.
It's the only reason. It's literally the only reason. I'm like, because I feel like I could play Kate Jerome for the rest of my life, but I think Connie would be a stretch to do every single day for the rest of my
Yeah,
life.
and thank God we don't we
Only
don't.
reason it's number two.
Thank God we don't do two a days. That would have been. I couldn't even imagine doing that
God, I know. I
two a
remember
day.
Scott and I talking about how glad we were that we didn't have 2 show days for this.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was taxing on both of you. It was such an emotional.
Yeah.
Oh my God! But what a powerful, wonderful show.
I
And
when people ask me about two-handers, this is always one of the ones I recommend to folks, because what's so beautiful about it is it has this like wonderful, man woman vulnerability and very very intimate relationship that is not in the least bit romantic.
right, yeah,
It's almost like they're trauma bonding, right? But
exactly,
it's
yeah,
so beautiful. I mean, there's so much trust between the two of them, and it never goes to that weird will they won't they, because I think that would have ruined it.
yeah,
They just happen to be these two people of approximately the same age and possible relationship partners that aren't. It doesn't go there.
right.
And I appreciated that about it so much. Plus, like, they're just both broken people just trying to leave the
They
world
really are,
better than
yeah,
they found it.
yeah,
So they're doing the best they can with what they have available to them, and it's just it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful script. Like I rave about it all the time.
yeah.
And and we joke about how like curmudgeonly you are, but I think that we joke. I mean, we all do. So,
Yeah,
but I
I know.
think that because you weren't precious with it, I mean, had you been precious with it, it could have become masturbatory, but you didn't allow
Yeah,
it to.
no, no,
And so, I think that was a massive benefit. Plus, this is the kind of thing that audiences in small towns don't ever get to see.
yeah.
It's like,
That's kind of our. We like to do one of those a year. That
yeah.
kind of my jam with these
Well, it's
things.
one of the things I love about your company is that you bring in the stuff that that they'll like, and the butts and seats shows.
Hmm.
But then you're also like, cool, I'm going to challenge you with a thing. Like the
Right.
last one you were just talking about, because I got to read that one,
Yeah.
which was a glorious script.
Yeah.
I was very sad not to get to do that one. I was sad for months.
God.
Months I was sad. But like I think sometimes companies come into these smaller areas and they're like, we're just gonna like bombard them with all these hard things, and then they lose their audiences. Whereas
Yeah.
I think the way you handle things is that you bring them in slowly,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then like,
We
cool,
do.
here's a
I'm
little challenge. Here's a little challenge. Can you hang? No.
Yeah. And it's
Okay,
really
like,
cool. I mean, our audiences have gotten to the point where they I mean, one of the things I love about and we've done this ever since the beginning was you will rarely we will rarely do a play that when you say the title, people go, "Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good show." You know,
right.
that most of our things, 99% of our shows, people aren't familiar with,
I only know
and
some of them because I know Sean Grennan.
yeah, yeah, exactly,
So,
yeah,
like, oh, we have Sean. Other than that, yeah.
yeah, but
But that's nice though, because I think audiences have become complacent in a lot of ways, and they
yeah.
just want it to see the thing that has the same name as a movie that they've seen. And
Well,
so,
and I think it's also has to do with at least with our audience. We have a huge portion of our audience is they come up here for the summer, and then they go back home, like to Florida or whatever, in the wintertime. And they still go to they don't just go to theater when they're up here. They go to theater when they're down there.
right,
And so one of the things that is a challenge for me and Lisa is we don't just look at what shows have been done here in this area. We look at what shows have been done down there in Fort Myers or Miami
right,
or pretty much in Orlando, that kind of stuff, because we have, and even as far north as from the south end anyway, Atlanta, making sure that these, because we don't want people to go, oh yeah, I've seen that, and I've had
right.
we've had so many experiences. So funny. Sometimes audiences tickle me in the sense that they go, a place you should do is do this play. And I said, well, have you seen it? Oh yeah, I love it. I said, so does that mean you'll come back to see it again? Well, I don't know. We've seen it, but it's like, well, okay.
Well, I had researched you guys long before I ever got to audition for you,
Mm,
and I had a list of theaters who do the kinds of things that I like.
yeah.
Not necessarily the specific, but the Redeemer is very, 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 very much
I don't know why
my
it was
jam.
just showing me. I just now noticed that it was showing me.
Oh, it goes back and forth.
Oh, good Lord.
These things.
Okay.
Listen, I have the flu. I'm not. You're not going to look at me right now. We're fine. I must love you if I'm willing to put my face on when I feel like crap and you've been on the internet like this. But it's difficult. Difficult shows
Hmm.
don't get done all that often.
Right.
And I think the advantage that you have, it's going to sound a little weird, is you have a little bit of a captive audience because there's not a whole lot of other stuff around. I mean, there's some obviously,
Right.
but God, I love that photo. But it makes them go, well, I want to see something. Nobody's doing Oliver. I'll go to and then it puts them in a situation where they kind of have to be a little bit more daring as an audience member.
Hmm.
Whereas in a major city, like if they decide they don't want to see something that's going to challenge them, they're going to have your Christmas carols or
Yeah.
whatever.
10 other choices to go to.
Right, exactly. But I think that those smaller, I'm using that in quotes, please. My brain's not good with words today.
Yeah. Me too.
Don't have access necessarily to things that are more challenging on a daily basis. And so I think they need those things because their worldview is a little smaller if they don't leave the area. You know
Right.
what I mean? So
Right.
the kinds of things that you do really, really allows folks to sort of stretch their worldview, like that last show, like this one.
Yeah.
You know, I think a healthy democracy requires people to sort of look outside of their own experiences and see what else is out there. And if you aren't in a situation where you can just go across the street and meet somebody from a different country
Yeah.
or different experiences, then having something like this to go to is hugely helpful. And it's
Yeah. We
I
did
rave
one
about you guys all the time. So I think
well,
it's wonderful what you're doing up there.
and,
And admittedly, I did not know until I did. I'm like, there's mountains in North Carolina.
Oh, I remember because when you showed up, you kept going,
I was like,
well,
oh,
I could just walk. I could just walk from,
it's only a
down.
mile.
And I just chuckled. And then I remember taking you up to the housing and you
Yeah.
got out of your car, busted out laughing, realizing that,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, never.
there's no way I could have walked that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a walker. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like I am like, oh, it's 3 miles. Okay, I'll just leave half an hour earlier. You know, like I have no problems with that.
Right. Yeah.
But that's a this, and then the road's like this, and there's
Yeah.
no place. There's no place. Like if a car's coming, you're dead.
Yep.
So like there was none of that.
Yeah, I always get a chuckle when I have actors telling me, "Oh, I can just walk. It's not that big of a deal." Like, no, you can't.
I mean, I walked all of Banner Elk while I was there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Boone while I was there.
But that's flat. That's not going from your housing on Beach Mountain down to Banner Elk. That's couldn't even imagine that. But
it was surprising to me how noisy the housing was, considering we're on top of the mountain. Because I was trying to do those videos, and like,
oh, that's right,
all the animals and the birds and like and the wind would like rush in, and it was, it was. I had struggles sometimes with the noise. I'm like I'm like at the top of a freaking mountain. Like, why is it noisy? But it was the beautiful kind, and getting to be there was very much one of those working vacations that, those are goals. Getting to do that kind of stuff is goals, and getting to play parts like Connie, which aren't written for women terribly often,
right?
Roles that are that complicated and beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's why it was important to me to find someone who understood that there's, and that's honestly is getting harder and harder to find, both men and women, frankly, to find those that understand the complexities of a character or the layers of a character. I can't tell you how many times I've had actors in rehearsal that, how I do is I'll like, well, let's just try this. Let's try this and see what happens. And I had one actor, I'd done that probably, I'd had him try something over the course of 2 or 3 days, 3 or 4 different ways. Right. And I guess he just didn't quite understand my reason behind it, because the last time I told him, well, let's try this. He goes, you know what, you're going to have to choose one of those, but you're going to have to pick one, how you want me to do it. Right. And me and my calm demeanor and how,
right. You're so loving and nurturing all the time.
That's right. How I accepted that fully and embraced that thought. That
but at the same time, like, you are a person that you can have a conversation with and go, I don't understand this. Because like I personally was very well, first off, I was struggling with my voice. Because I had just come off of that show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I had lung infection.
Yeah.
Apparently every time I see you, I'm gonna sound like this. But also, like, there were so many times what I was seeing was not what I was seeing. And so I was having a really hard time with the blocking parts of that.
Right.
Because I'm like, okay, I know I'm in the tomato aisle, but I'm supposed to be seeing this other thing. And so, like, I think had you coddled me too much, I could have gotten complacent.
Yeah, I'm not big on coddling.
You're not a coddler. but you know what? Like, I appreciate that. Like, I'm also not a coddler.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that about you. Does the I'm a soft, gentle little actor who needs a little bit extra. Would I have liked an extra week of rehearsal? Yep.
Who wouldn't?
But I feel like that's only because it was a 2-hander and it was a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
And frankly, even
speeches.
My experience as an actor, I mean, well, I won't say that for every show, but for any time I did those short rehearsal period shows where it was like 2.5 weeks of rehearsal, hell yeah, I want another week. I want another 2 weeks. Good God, this is ridiculous. But then I remember I'd gotten kind of used to that, and I got cast in a show that had 6 weeks of rehearsal.
And you're like,
after the 3rd week, I'm going, oh my God, can we just get on stage? Can we just get on stage?
I think we had 2 weeks and then tech. Is that what it was?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's 2. 2.5 weeks of rehearsal,
Yeah.
and not long rehearsals either
No.
because of the contract.
Right.
Um,
And
uh,
and and Scott and I spent a lot of time in that condo going line, line, line,
yeah.
line, line,
Oh
line,
God.
line.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, but man,
and that was the complication I had, is that what I was looking at was not what I was looking at. And so I was like, okay, no, I'll get just give me a minute. I'll get, we got
yeah,
this.
you were having to do a lot of green screening there,
I was having to
basically.
do a lot of mental green screening.
Yeah, but
But I never fell off the stage. I mean, I impaled myself on it, but I never fell off of it.
yeah, the
I break myself in shows all the time. It's a thing.
well, I remember I guess it was the second day, or maybe it was even the first day of rehearsal, and you're supposed to be we're doing the one of the scenes where you were frustrated and pissed off and scared, and you had so many layers of this emotion. You're down there in the garden, and you're smacking the garden, and you're hitting shit, and you're just slamming stuff, and then it's like you hit and you go ah.
I
It's
broke
like,
my finger.
yeah, it's like, okay, you know what? We really need, since how Sammy needs to go full bore, we
Pillows.
need to,
The
yeah.
pillows came in.
So I remember bringing you pillows so you could hit the pillows, and it was like your little Linus blanket. You'd carry that pillow wherever you went.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
It was
Well,
so
we didn't realize until the end of the first week of rehearsal that I had broken my finger on Night Mother.
Yeah.
And then I rebroke it.
Yeah.
And then I developed a bone spur. Like, so when I got home, so like I had to have all kinds of work done. Yeah, I jacked up that hand. I will think about you forever because of this, Michael. Yeah, I mean,
and then once we got on stage and we had that, all that dirt, and this was not dirt by the bag you get at Lowe's.
No, you dug it out of the back, right?
We dug it out of the back, and it had so many damn rocks in it.
Yeah.
And remember we by the end of the show we had a giant pile of rocks that
you had a pile of rocks, yeah.
And that was but it kind of worked cool because it gave you action. So
I pulled so many rocks out of that dirt.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I threw them in that bucket and everything, yep. and but then there was a couple of times where you would find a rock with your fist when you would slam down.
The blood was, I found a piece of wire.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You found a piece of wire in that.
A piece of wire with like the palm of my hand.
Yeah. Welcome to
was it our last? It was one of like the last rehearsals. I was like, "Hold on, I'm bleeding," and they're like, "We don't know. No, really, I'm bleeding."
Yeah.
hold on. There's dirt. Can we just?
Yeah.
Give me a second.
You rub some dirt in.
I had a real bandage under my fake bandage.
Yep. I remember that. Yep.
I break myself in shows. I do it all the time. So listen, anything that I can do, as you know, I'm having a little bit of I got some stuff going on.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah.
But listen, I'm 2 days away from it being over.
Now, are you still doing the soap thing?
Yeah, we had to rebrand.
Yeah, I knew you had to rebrand.
Yeah.
So what is
Plot Twist Creative?
What is the name of the brand?
Plot Twist Creative.
Plot Twist Creative.
Yeah.
Okay.
The new company.
Well, and do you guys have your website yet, or?
Yeah, Plot Twist LLC. And we just opened a little booth in one of those painted tree boutiques.
Oh, okay.
Which are all over the South. Pittsburgh just got one. And so it's all starting to come back. But
well, let me tell you, I love the soap. I get the
you get sense of adventure, don't you?
Yeah, sense of adventure. Yeah, and tell people what that is, because I love this idea.
Oh, so I bevel the edges of my bars so that they look all pretty, and so the sense of adventure is all the ends and pieces of those beveled edges that I just melt back down and put into one, so nothing gets wasted.
Yeah, and
because they're double batched, they actually last even longer.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, because I cook them twice.
Oh, okay.
The first time, because I do hot process, so they get cooked
right.
The first time, and then I cook them again for the sense of adventures.
Oh, yeah.
I love sense of adventure. That's what's in my shower. I love them.
Yep, that's and I had gotten the there was another one that I'd gotten that I got 5 of that my stage manager is real sensitive and can't do like regular soap or whatever it is, but she loves this the soap that you make because it's all natural and she doesn't break out.
We make them intentionally simple.
Yeah.
For folks that have allergies to everything, and then they're lightly scented for folks who have sensibilities or sensitivities.
So
So
you're not just a wonderful actress; you're a wonderful entrepreneur, as it is with soap. You're the soap goddess.
I
And
am the soap goddess.
yep.
I have 2 T-shirts.
and
Yeah,
and
those of you who are out there, all 15 of you, or however many there are, I know there's a lot of theaters on the planet, but this is a special one. And if there's anything at all you can do to help them, this is one that needs to stay forever and always, especially this one, especially with everything you guys just went through. Good God. We were all kind of in a panic. There was an email circle going around going, has anyone heard from Gary and Lisa? So we were all a little panicked. So,
yeah, we were in that cosmic bubble because we had no power, we had no cell, we had no internet, we had no anything, and we were trapped because the road was washed out that led to downtown Banner Elk, and then the road was washed out that led to Newland, and the road was washed out that led to Boone. So we were just kind of stuck there and couldn't. That was nerve-wracking. Just
I'm sure.
Not knowing what had happened and how severe it was.
Because kind of like, well, why do they live so close to a hurricane? Guys, on the other side of the state, in the mountains.
Yeah.
In the mountain, like so far in the mountains that it was messing with my asthma because the air was so much thinner in the mountain. Yep. So yeah, I mean, like that's
crazy stuff.
Get a globe, figure out where you are. You know what I mean? That's a problem. But yeah, I mean, anything I can do for you guys,
I appreciate it.
Anytime, you know.
Appreciate it. And now, are you working on anything theatrically or?
I just finished a fundraiser. Actually, no, I'm being a brat. I had a weird run after Redeemer. Like every time I went to auditions, they're like, "Do you do TV? You should do TV." Okay.
You've done TV though.
I had done TV, and it's not my favorite. I'm not gonna lie, but the kind of acting that TV is the kind of acting I like. You know, these little small spaces,
and that's why this ensemble stage is perfect for that kind of acting.
It's perfect for that kind of thing. Because but a lot of big houses don't have. I am an actor. I am a character actor. I am not a performer.
Right. Yeah.
And so, but I had so many people tell me, you should do TV, you should do TV. So I decided to like look into it. And in the last 9-10 months, I've gotten 5 agents all over the country. And
yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
I've been busting my hiney on that. So I decided to focus on that for a minute. Good. God bless, I missed the stage.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing better. I mean, I did a lot of film work too. And it was like, you know, it was so irritating to like you go to a 30-second shoot for a 30-second commercial that takes 12 friggin' hours to do a 30-second commercial. And if you're used to theater, it's like, what the hell? Let's just say go.
Lines, people.
Yeah.
The thing I have the hardest time with, honestly, for film and TV is how much people change the script.
Oh yeah, I know, and then you have to change as an actor so quickly with that. But yeah,
well, no, I'm talking about the other actors.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah,
right. So like, because I always feel like as an actor, my job is to make whatever's happening on the page make that as real as humanly possible.
Right.
So yeah, so sometimes there's a word I'm like, oh, this doesn't really. This does not flow easily off the tongue, but that's part of the challenge is to take those things that you're given. And make it as real as possible. So then on film sets, you're being thrown things. You're like, this is nothing like what? Okay, all right. So we're going. And so then if they ad lib, then you kind of have to ad lib so that your line makes sense against their line.
Yep.
So
exactly.
I find that aspect of it a lot harder. The repetition of doing the scenes. I just knit while I'm waiting for. I'm just waiting.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I tried to explain to people that's why film work pays so ridiculously well, because you couldn't get a theater actor to do that for the kind of money we get in theater. and so they got to pay an enormous amount of money just to get a Steven come out there because it's just so friggin' ridiculous.
Well, plus, if you have absolutely zero control over the final product on film.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You can do like 6 of the best takes on the planet, but they're going to use that one where you were a little derpy because it's better with what everyone else is doing. And you're like, but I was better than.
You
have no control over it.
And I loved working on those low budget ones that I did a TV series once, which was just god awful. God, the worst friggin'. Oh, it's horrible. and we did a had a well, to tell you what it was 13 episodes that we shot in 1 week. Yeah.
Of like a
series of a series. Yeah. No, it was a 30 minute no, it was an hour long show. 13 episodes in 1 week's time. And
wow.
And of course, I would do a scene and I'd go, "Hey, can we do that again?" No, it's fine. It's like, no, it really wasn't, man. It was not fine. And no, it'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be good. And it's like, and my thought proved out because it sucked. And
I mean, it does have, and that's hard. And I think that's why they pay you so much better because
exactly,
you don't get to have that, the sound of the. There was nothing better during Redeemer when the lights would go out and it would just be silent.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And you could hear sniffling.
Yeah.
You could hear like the intakes of breath.
Uh-huh.
You don't have that on film.
Nope. You don't.
I mean, when you go to see the screening, but then you're also watching yourself, in IMAX. And it's like
I've kept you here way too long, but I just saw a picture there and I remembered how fun was it to have an actual
the running water,
the pump, the pump on stage that you could pump water out of that.
And my knitting was actually stashed behind that door.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's how I get through shows sometimes. Is I have my knitting, my knitting was sitting on that windowsill right there.
That's awesome.
Because you couldn't see it from the audience.
Right, yeah.
On that windowsill right there. I think I was working on something orange too, so it would have shown up. But yeah, that's sad.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. Just want to remind everybody, if you want to donate, go to Ensemble Stage. It's right there on the screen, ensemblestage.ludus.com/donate, and you'll get your name on the little ticker down there at the bottom. And if you $5, $10, $1, I don't care. It all goes to good use, and believe me, we could stretch $1 here at Ensemble Stage.
Yeah, you can.
You're
getting all the dirt from the back. How long is this link going to be good?
Well, that's all the time. You can do that anytime.
There you go. So if you can't do it today,
that's right. And I'll probably air this chat again later on today because I got to fill 24 hours because I promised to do a 24-hour thing.
Streamathon.
Yeah, that's right. Streamathon, copyright. There you go. Okay. All right, thanks, Sammi. And I want to let everybody know that coming up at 1:30, I got Zoe Dean coming in, who was in I'll Be Back Before Midnight and Texas Romance. So thank you again, Sammi. I love seeing you, and we shall talk later.
Yes, please.
All right, thanks.
Bye, everybody.
We'll be back, everybody. Thanks.